and now Juliette. So you grew up in a very Catholic family, right? How do you see the Eucharist in your life, the role of Jesus in your life?
I was brought up by a Catholic family, and my parents were martyrs for me. Mm-hmm. But then I left my family when I was 12 years old.
Oh, so early.
I stayed in a small town because my father worried about my education. So I stayed in a convent, this boarding house run by the Reparation Sisters. So I stayed there for 2 years. During the 2 years, I learned a lot of prayers. I learned a lot of prayers. I learned how to confess better, and I was closer to God. But I realized as I grew up, I realized that during those years, I prayed from my head. I prayed to Jesus. I prayed to God from my head because I memorized the prayers, and then I just recite whatever I have learned. Mm-hmm. But that is how I praise the Lord. That is how I put myself closer to God. But then after I passed my 10th standard and I moved on from my education, I faced a lot of difficulties, a lot of challenges in my life, and then I think it is the gift from the nature that slowly I learned to pray from my heart.
Okay.
Because when I finished my university, I tried to apply for a diploma course in Singapore. Mm-hmm. Then I was rejected. Rejected because they said the university that I finished in Myanmar is not recognized by any other foreign country. Okay. So that is how they rejected me. But then I prayed a lot because I want this diploma so that I can help the children in the rural areas better. I need their knowledge, I need their skills before I can help other people. Mm-hmm. So I really prayed to Jesus. Mm-hmm. And those times, I really prayed from my heart. And then after being rejected, they responded me again on my birthday. They said yes to me. So that is how God helped me, I think. God has proven that He has been with me and He wants me to do this job, to help the people who need their help. So I finished my 2 years diploma in Singapore. Then I came back in 2013. Mm-hmm. Then I started working in this institute, helping the children from the rural areas. Mm-hmm. So I travel a lot. And then the places we travel, it's not easy place. Okay. Not easy. The traveling and also the place, so many difficulties, so many challenges. But then amidst the challenges, I always experience presence of God.
Mm-hmm. So don't you find it something that you're rebelling? Why send me to this away from the family? Normally other will cry that I don't want to leave the family, the comfort zone. But here you are, 2 years. And then you find solution to your, maybe I'm sure you must be lonely,
Yes.
Then you find solution because of constant prayer. You find solution that it must be between you and God, only between you and Jesus that can work. Even the sister cannot help you, right? Is that how you find the role of Jesus into your life?
Yes, during the 2 years in the boarding house, it was lucky for me that I had my sister with me. Okay. So that was better. But what I experienced more of Jesus is when I stayed in Singapore. The 2 years in Singapore, I was the only foreign student among their cohort, 138 cohort, and I stayed in the hostel on the campus. Mm-hmm. So, and I stayed in a room alone. So most of the time I was alone. So that was very lonely. Stay very far away from the family, and having different food from whatever I used to had. So, and I was very lonely, especially when I get sick.
Okay.
Then I realized Jesus is the only person I talk to all the time, every night. And then it is convincing me that He is a very faithful companion, not just as a father, as a friend, as a brother. So very faithful to me.
So Paul, you heard their story. So both of them undergo crisis in their life. In your case, did you undergo that kind also of crisis or something that clings, that you are so happy that you have this faith in you?
Yes, many times.
Oh yes. Mm-hmm.
I believe that God makes everything possible when God makes, because I was born in a small village which is far, far away from the downtown.
Okay.
And my father died before I was born, so
okay.
And there was no camera at the time.
Okay.
Because it's a very small village, so I have never seen my father.
Okay.
And then when my father died, my mother brought me and my siblings to the downtown, and then I grew up there. After I passed 10th standard, and when I was studying university, I was elected to be a youth secretary in my quarter, and then most of my time I devoted to youth, Catholic youth activities. And then gradually I felt very lost.
Okay.
I wasn't satisfied with myself to be
Just a secretary.
no, I mean just to work for the like just normal work. I wasn't satisfied, and then I pray a lot. Then at the time, like I asked God, I have no money. I told like this, I have no money to study, to go to study education like this. So just give me a chances to study English. I was very crazy about English and computer skill. So I asked God to give me a chance to study computer and English. Then sometimes I work and save some money and then I bought a dictionary, and then I did some self-study at home.
Okay.
At the time, there was an institution in Mandalay. This is just, they are just beginning. And then the institution is calling for young people as a scholarship program.
Okay.
Then I tried to join, but I cannot. I could not. I felt very depressed. Oh, I thought this was what
The solution.
God gave me. I thought this was what the chance God gave me. And then I thought, what? I thought this is what you gave me. I told her this. But then later, I heard about Pyinya Science Institution.
Yes, yes.
Then I tried. Then I was chosen to study in Pyinya Science. Oh, and then I understood. Oh, that is what really got me. If I study in Malay, I would not have a chance to study in Pyinya Science.
You will not meet your girlfriend, right?
Studying in Pyinya Science is like a real turning point for me. And then before that also, there's something happened. At the time, I was smoking a lot. Smoking, and I drink. I drank a lot. Then one night, I went to the Eucharist, the chapel.
Yeah.
And then I was drunk at the time. Then I was crazy, I think.
Okay.
I went to chapel, and then at the time, normally there was many people. It's a very crowded place in the chapel.
Yes.
But at the night, only I was alone
Yes.
in the chapel.
Okay.
And then as soon as I started to begin praying, the light off, and then it was totally dark in the chapel. Then I waited for the lights come out again, but it takes long to get the lights again. Then suddenly I heard this music from the piano. Then something came to my mind, and I felt something very, how to say, bad feelings, lonely and something like this. And then I reflected myself in the chapel. I think God doesn't want me to be drunk in a chapel room. Jesus doesn't want me to see like this. So then I reflect myself, and then I prayed, and I promised, okay, I will not smoke anymore. If you listen to me, just give me the light. And then I will not drink alcohol when I come to school. I didn't say I will not drink. I say when I come to school, I will not drink. I promise like this. And then the light suddenly came out. It's like coincidence for others. It maybe some may say that's just coincidence, but for me, it's really meant for me.
So that's a hard bargain
between
you and God, you know.
Since then, I never smoke again. Even in my dream, when I smoke, I suddenly wake up because I promised God not to smoke. Then I never smoke again. Then also, when I came to Yangon, and then I'm studying teaching methods in PSI, one day on Sunday, I drank again.
You promised.
I drank again.
Yes.
And then at the time, there was one problem. I encountered one problem. I will not tell what the problem is. The main is, I don't know how to solve the problem. And then I promised again, okay, God, give me one chance to solve this problem. Please finish this problem. I don't know how to solve this. If you do this to me, I promise I will never drink on Sunday. I promise like this.
But only on Sunday.
Only on Sunday. Only on
We
Sunday.
drink on Monday, Tuesday.
Then it automatically the problem is solved.
Okay.
Since then, I never drink any alcohol on Sunday. Although in my flat, I stay with some friends. Sometimes they make special parties like to drink or beers like this on Sunday. They invite me a lot. I refused. I never drink on Sunday. Since that then.
So how many years ago is that?
The first I dropped smoking in 2009.
Okay.
And then drinking in 2011.
So it's a good lesson, but we will continue our beautiful discussion sa pagbabalik po ng Power to Unite with Elvira.